right, so we're going to talk gymnastics now. Are you any good at gymnastics?
Do you know, I never really got into gymnastics. I mean, I could do the splits, but I was always quite frightened of those back bends. I was always afraid of bashing my face or something, because that would be something that would happen to me.
All right, well, we're going to talk to now Ireland's most decorated gymnast now and find out what he's up to. He's involved with a brand new project with Lidl. We're going to find out more because Rhys Mcclenaghan joins us on the line. Rhys, how are you?
Hi, Rhys.
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, good. So as I mentioned in the intro there, Rhys, you're now the most decorated Irish gymnast of all time. That's a pretty big feat, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes me feel special for sure. It's an accomplishment to say the least, and it's something that I've been working towards my whole life, pretty much.
So Rhys, tell us about some of those accolades. You won a gold medal for Northern Ireland in the Commonwealth Games, didn't you?
Yes, that was one of the most eye-opening experiences for myself to kind of realise that I'm up there with the best in the world. And at Commonwealth Games, I beat the current Olympic champion. So that's just something that solidified my prior beliefs to actually thinking I can be the best in the world.
So taking you back to the start, Rhys, where did your love of gymnastics come from?
Well, it just kind of came from being a very active kid. When I was younger, I always say this, that I was doing gymnastics well before I actually started gymnastics, climbing trees. I had a trampoline out my back garden that I would be doing backflips on even before I went to gymnastics classes. So I think when my mum and dad were scared watching me out in the back garden trying to do backflips, they just wanted me in a safe environment. And gymnastics was a no-brainer for them, for me to go to. And they knew that I would thrive in it. And, every day I walk through those gym doors, I just got a thrill from it.
Did you ever imagine back then that you were going to eventually win a Commonwealth gold medal?
I would have little things in the back of my head, even when I'd done other sports like swimming or football. And, when I was at a swimming gala at a very low level, I'd imagine that I'm in the Olympic Games and this is my time to shine. So I carried that on to gymnastics, but gymnastics was, of course, the one that I actually made that happen for.
So growing up, how important was sport in your life? I suppose it actually became your life, didn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And I dedicate my life to sport. There's so many things that I've learned from growing up through sport, even from different sports, but gymnastics in particular. There's so many different life lessons that I feel like I've learned from going into that gym nearly every single day since I was the age of 6, and pushing my body and mind to the limits. And that's something at the age of 21 now that I'm using on a regular basis. And I know that even when I finish gymnastics, I'm still going to use everything I learned in the sport.
Now, Rhys, you're also a mentor for young people now as well, and you're involved with Lidl's Sport for Good initiative. Tell us more about that.
Oh yeah, it's amazing to be part of this campaign, and I often seek out these sort of campaigns because I truly believe in them. And for something as good as the Lidl Sport for Good campaign, which is offering £3,000 worth of sporting equipment for schools across the country for each individual store, is pretty incredible. Because when I look back on my school days, it was always the funding aspect that held back the PE classes and the physical exercise side of school. And when there's a company that's offering to help and offering to assist on children's physical well-being, it's something that I will always want to be a part of, and it's something I'm very passionate about.
And there's still time for people to nominate their schools for this, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. So I would nominate your school as early as possible. I think it is something that you wouldn't want to miss out on. I think it's something that is a necessity for a lot of schools. All you hear from schools is, "Oh, we need funding, we need funding." So this is a perfect opportunity to take hold of this and make it happen for your school.
And I believe that Lidl has invested an amazing amount of money in this project. There's something like £120,000 being divided up between all the schools, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a crazy amount of money, and it's something that is just and it's going towards something obviously I'm very passionate about. But kids growing up, they should have this opportunity in their school to have the funding being put into the physical side of education, and it's something that I think is often overlooked. So again, as I say, it's a great investment that Lidl are putting into the country.
So we'll put up all the contact details at the end of this so people can find out how to nominate their school.
So after winning all these accolades, is there anywhere else you can go with your sporting career?
Well, there's still a lot to do. That's the reality of it. Of course, Olympic Games didn't happen this year, so my sights are set on next year's Olympic Games, and that's a big goal of mine. I'm targeting the gold medal like always, and I'm hopefully going to bring back another first ever medal for gymnastics in Ireland.
So tell us about the training regime for something like the Olympics. It must be kind of full on.
Yeah, it's definitely a full-time job. I'm glad I'm out of education actually, because it gives me my full undivided attention for this sport, which it needs. They're in and out of the gym. It's just non-stop work for, even if it's recovery or, going to get physio sessions, or even just analyzing the videos that I've taken in the training session prior to the rest periods. It's non-stop gymnastics in my brain, to be honest. And it's a lot of hard work, but I know that one day that hard work's going to pay off. Well, actually, I think the hard work's already paid off, but I'm still chasing after those glorious moments when I finish a routine and get the gold medal around my neck.
So are there any young up-and-coming gymnasts on their way up the scale that we should be looking out for?
I think there's a lot of potential in Ireland, and I don't think a lot of people realise that. So, Northern Ireland and Ireland, there's so much talent, and that just needs to be nurtured and coached in the right way. So I think it's up to a lot of the gymnastics coaches to make that happen. And also, I hope that my success will bring the actual gymnasts the inspiration and the belief that it's possible to make it to the top level. As I said before, every medal that I'm getting is a first for the country, and that's an incredible thing. So I want to see these younger gymnasts surpassing what I've achieved, and it's an exciting time for the sport, to say the least.
Now, what about COVID? Did that affect your training regime very badly?
In the early lockdown, it was difficult to find training grounds, so it was back to the back garden for me. But I was keeping on top of training. I was seeing it as a positive. I'm a very optimistic person, so I saw it as an extra year of just getting better. So I just used that time to hone in on any weaknesses I had. I tried to get some more skills and up the difficulty. And right now, I'm currently working on a more difficult routine than I've ever done before. So that's the product of the first lockdown, and it's good to see hard work, even during times like that, paying off.
Of course, at this time, sport is very important for young people, not just with their physical health, but their mental health also.
Yeah, I think it's very important to get that message across, and I'm often speaking about that on my social media channels. And it's amazing what physical exercise does to your mental health. I'm sure you can dive into the science of it all you want and look at the technicalities of it, but it just comes down to that. When you break a sweat and do physical exercise, you do feel better after it, and then feel better in the long run, and overall just live a healthy life. And it's a very important thing to do.
And finally, for now, since we're getting all festive on the show this evening, what's your plans for Christmas this year?
Stay with my immediate family mostly, because that's all I can do, of course, but that's nothing I take for granted. I always like to spend time with family over the Christmas period. I'm currently working hard in the gym, but I might have a week off over Christmas just to celebrate the time.
Rhys, it's been absolutely fabulous talking to you. Thank you so much for doing this.
And the best of luck for 2021, and of course the best of luck with your role as ambassador for Lidl's sport initiative.
Yes, thank you very much.